Welcome to episode 42 of the Lightning Round. I'm your host, Lightning.
I hit my knee.
Yay!
Don't tear at that. It hurt. It hit on the wall right here. And yeah, hey, my DS is here. I should play it.
You can introduce yourself?
No, I'm AR. It's not my fault.
Hey, look, he's here. All right.
Yes.
So, 42.
Yes.
Advanced of life and universe and everything. Yes.
Nah, I still don't think so. 72 once again. I'm staying with that number.
I don't know why you like the number 72
I
so
don't
much.
either. I just love 72. I don't know. It's one of those numbers, I guess.
One of those numbers.
Yes, which clocks will never reach. It's like it's 12 times 6 or 9 times 8. Wait, 12 times 6?
Or
No, that's wrong.
12 times 3, 24 times 3.
24 times 3 is what I meant. Because 12 times 6 and 24 times 3 are so similar.
Right.
Yes. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome. This week we actually have a interview lined up. Who is that with?
Yes, we have our interview with Eric Ridenour. He is the director of Journey of the Spark.
Many of you probably have never heard of that. I know I hadn't until we talked with him. Actually.
Really?
Well, no, not really. Actually, it's something that I think you'll find if people do comment below. If they do, they don't like talking to us. Apparently, I think they fear me commenting back to them. But it's something I don't think a lot of people heard of actually. And so, but for yeah.
Okay, here's the thing: is that I'd say probably about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, it was really big. You know, they were getting voice actors for it, and they were putting out posters and stuff. We were hearing about it. And yeah, it did go dark. And they hadn't said much about it recently.
Yeah.
So when I had the opportunity to talk to the director,
hey, there's
I'm
socks
like,
right here.
we should do an interview.
Yeah.
To inform people about where this project is
and what it is, if you haven't heard of it. So actually, yeah, we can go ahead and cut to that right now. Should we?
Well, we'll do that in just a second. I want to also make a couple of other announcements as well.
Fine. Be that way. Jerk.
Next week is our interview with Jan Animations.
Woo!
That'll be a good one because he's got a new series coming out that we want to talk about involving Button Mash. The preview for it looks pretty cool, and I want to ask him about that. And of course, we'll be talking to him about his other animations, such as Picture Perfect Pony.
Yep, he is our new animator for the channel.
I wish.
No, but yeah, so that'll be coming up. For those of you who have never heard of him, I don't know what's wrong with you if you live under a rock. For a brief idea, he just does a lot of really well done animations in the fandom, and actually has a really cool Tumblr. Of course,
he's also the owner of the
Security Mark Crusader Tumblr.
Yes, which is also very good, and we'll be talking to him about that Tumblr as well.
Yes, we will.
So that'll be coming up next week, and that's all the interviews we have lined up at this point in time. I'll be trying to get more as time goes on.
As time goes on.
I will also take this opportunity to mention that the 11th, that weekend of the 11th,
is when Matt Smith dies.
We will not be recording an episode that weekend because I'll be graduating. So
from elementary school. Congratulations.
Yay!
Yay! I'll be actually graduating from Magic Kindergarten pretty soon.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to a 4-year college, though. So.
Yeah, but it was actually, yeah, it's technically a 3-year college. But Magic Kindergarten itself, I'm actually going to be graduating from soon. I really need to write a story about AR going to Magic Kindergarten.
Yeah, except for you're Pegasus.
Yeah, I know. That's why the story would be much more interesting. A Pegasus in Magic Kindergarten.
Well,
I lost the bet.
Okay. What bet was that?
Well, I was playing cards with Rashi, Rider's Block, and Chloe Dragon, and I sort of lost cards because I sort of went and built a house of cards with most of the deck, and was my turn to draw, and we wagered that, like, oh, I bet you can't beat us at cards. I'm like, I bet I can. And then I realized they were talking about poker, and I thought I could beat them building a house of cards, but there's a little bit of a difference with that. So, anyways, I ended up going to Magic Kindergarten. It's a lovely little tale. I would love to tell sometime, but I can't.
I can't.
Well, I mean, I can. I don't think you'd like me to spend an hour talking about my adventures in Magic Kindergarten. It was a whole year after all. It's almost come to an end soon, so.
Not today, but we might get into
Yeah,
that.
I am kind of failing it. I did kind of fail Magic Kindergarten, so.
Well, yeah, it'd be really hard for a Pegasus to pass Magic
Yeah.
Kindergarten, you know.
If you want to read that story, then please comment below because I'm gonna go write it out eventually.
So that's all the announcements we have, and so now we can go and get into the interview this week with Eric Ridenour, director of Journey of the Spark.
Woo!
First thing on the list this week, we have our interview. With us today, we have Eric Ridenour. This is the director of Journey of the Spark.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Hi.
The Journey of the
So,
Spark. Kind of reminds me of a Transformers kind of title for some reason.
It's very funny because it doesn't surprise me because when we first announced this movie, we got comments on one of our first promotional materials, and they ask, "Does Transformers have anything to do with this?" And we were like, "No, it doesn't."
Yet.
So,
No.
So, why don't you first start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you became a brony?
Don't do it. It's a trick.
okay, how I became a brony. That's actually a very interesting story.
A lot of people have interesting stories.
Basically, what it is that I was first told about My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic way back in early 2011, by my Disneyland friends, because I live out here in Southern California.
Yeah,
And,
California. I'm up in NorCal.
and they. Oh, that's cool. I'm in SoCal actually.
Okay. So I'm just below Sacramento.
Oh, okay. That's really nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
Art Institute of Sacramento is where I go to college.
Oh, that's really, really cool. I am going to Orange Coast in Costa Mesa.
Okay. I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm. I am studying film out there, so I am a independent film and animation student.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, my Disneyland friends, most of them are girls, and so they were telling me, they asked me randomly one day because they're animation fans. They were saying, "Hey Eric, have you ever heard of a show called My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic?" And I'm just like, My Little Pony, what?
You're like, hell no.
Yeah. No, not really. I was just a little confused. It was like, it's like, isn't that normally for girls? That it's like, no, but it has people who worked on, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and the Powerpuff Girls and My Life as a Teenage Robot and all these things. It's like, wow, that's actually a pretty impressive roster. So I decided to give it a shot. I watched the pilot, the first 2 episodes of the series, and then at that point, the latest episode that was out at that point was A Bird in the Hoof, I think, was the latest episode at that time.
That's midway through season 1? Okay. Something like that.
Yeah, so I basically
the
marathoned.
last quarter of those episode 22,
Yeah.
I think.
I thought it was
something
like
that.
20
Yeah,
or
that was
19.
episode 22.
22. Okay.
So I marathoned all of those episodes in a weekend, and I didn't really know what to think about it at first. I thought it was cute, but it wasn't until a little bit later, next month or so, that a really good friend of mine, who's actually the executive producer on Journey of the Spark, my friend Edward Marmot, was making fan art of My Little Pony and all these things, and it's like, "Hey Eric, it's like, you want to check out this picture that I made for My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic?" And I'm like, "You actually like that show?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love it. I think it's a great show." And so I started looking into it, and lo and behold, I found out about the brony community.
Oh,
And it's like, I actually felt really, I felt relatively surprised, because it was like, wow, I guess I'm not the only person who actually feels the same way about the show that I do. So season 1 had finally finished, and then I went back and rewatched all of season 1 again, and then I stumbled across Ponies the Anthology,
Oh, dear.
and I immediately became a brony from there on out.
Nice.
And now, going along with that, who's your favorite pony and favorite episode now?
My favorite pony, or rather my favorite character, actually, my favorite character is actually Princess Celestia.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
What about of the main
out of
six,
the main-
though? Yeah, I was okay.
Of the main six, it's Twilight and Fluttershy. They're tied for my favorite.
Fluttershy. Fluttershy. I've noticed. Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy will always be everyone's like top two. Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash will always be one of their top two.
No, it was like it was like constantly tossing about for a while. I mean, Fluttershy was my immediate favorite when I first watched the series because because
She's
I
adorable.
have Asperger's syndrome.
Ah.
Well, I mean, I have Asperger's syndrome, so I'm somewhat autistic. And one of the things I guess that made me like really see that the show wasn't actually, wasn't going to be dumb, was the fact that one of the first characters that they introduce, like in this, in the first episode, is a rather introverted character, like, a relatively shy, relatively meek sort of character, not very like, not necessarily social, but, just a little more like self-doubtful and whatnot. And I saw those qualities a lot in myself, especially when I was at a much younger age. And so I actually really connected to that, and I was like, wow, this is actually really interesting. I really want to see where this actually goes and where they take this character, or how they take these other characters, basically. And I've managed to find little bits and pieces of myself in a lot of the characters over the course of the series.
Yeah, a lot of the people who watch the show often they associate with their favorite characters being a lot of their personality into that character. That's how a lot of people pick their favorites for the most part, because they're so relatable to themselves. But it's also like that with all the characters, because for the most part, like, you can connect yourself to almost all the characters in the show, the main six at least.
I think
Yeah.
that's one thing that makes the show so
Unique.
well, not unique, but that's why it's such a good show, is because you can relate to the characters. You need to be able to relate to the characters in order to make a show.
It's because even though they're ponies, they feel human.
The
you know?
personalities
like
are
they
really
have,
well done and developed.
yeah, like their personalities and the way that they go about, their own lives and whatnot. I mean, like the way that I've always interpreted it is that, they feel so human, in terms of the way that they think, and in terms of the way that they like the specific emotions that they evoke. So it's like, so that comes across off to the audience, like in a way that you can connect with them, because like there's a sense of humanity there, where even though they are ponies, I mean, that's what makes them relatable, and that's what makes people care about the characters, and what makes people want to go along with them. I mean, I've always felt that way about filmmaking, generally as a whole, for as long as I've been studying it, is that if if you want to care about a character, you need to give them a sense of humanity, like
Exactly.
for the audience to really relate to them.
Yeah. Let's see. So what is your background movie making? Because you talk a lot about that, and I'm a filmmaker as well. But like, over at your college, this is different than mine. Like, what is your background in getting into film, and like, what you want to get started into it? You already said a little bit of that.
I actually wanted to, like, one of the first movies I ever saw when I was a kid was
Toy Story.
E.T.
Oh, okay.
That
That
was one of them too, but
Well, yeah, everyone here probably saw Toy Story as a kid.
But when I was watching E.T. for the first time, basically what it was is that I didn't really know what to really think about it, because it was my first film, like my first movie that I was legitimately sitting down and watching. And it wasn't until the scene when Elliot and E.T. are on the bike ride during Halloween night, and they're just about to go over the cliff, and then E.T. uses his powers to make the bike fly, and then there's the iconic flying over the moon scene, and the first time I ever saw that, I was absolutely amazed. And in the back of my mind, I was maybe like about 3 or 4, maybe, when I was watching this, and I just told myself, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I've studied film, I've read up on it, I've watched bonus features on DVDs.
Oh, those are fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because I mean, after a while, I figured, well, I've seen the movies so many times. I mean, I want to know how it's made.
Yeah,
I want to know how it's made. And
Star Wars has fun bonus features to watch. I love how they go through their process.
Yeah, totally. And I would just watch those, and I'd I just really study it, and I continued to study it with hopes of one day becoming a film director. Like, so much so to the point that I actually wrote a letter to Steven Spielberg.
Really?
Up at Amblin Entertainment. And I told him how much of a fan of E.T. I was, and how much of a fan of his work that I was, and how much it inspired me to want to become a film director, and that I wanted to direct movies just like him. And he sent me this autographed picture in the mail back.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Lucky
great.
jerk.
But I've always had a strong passion for animation. A lot of my personal favorite films are actually animated ones. Primarily the works of Don Bluth, with movies like The Secret of Nim and The Land Before Time. Yeah. Oh, it's a great movie.
It is.
Phenomenal.
It's really well done. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also loved. See, when it comes to Disney, I love Walt Disney's actual work rather than the stuff that came after his time.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even though, I mean, yeah, sure, I can say that movies like, The Lion King or Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin, like, all of those are good. But, I mean, the movies that stick with me the most, and the movies that give me the emotional...
classic Disney ones.
Like the emotional impact that I want out of a film, I go to movies like Fantasia or Pinocchio or movies like that, that have such an emotional simplicity to them.
Yeah.
But they manage to, like, make you feel every single type of emotion, whether or not they want you to feel it. I mean, like, Pinocchio. I mean, like, Pinocchio is my personal favorite Disney film because the fact that it's dark. And it's not ashamed of being dark. I mean, like, it treats the child audience like they are adults, and it trusts them enough to understand what's going on, and, like, to accept a lot of the imagery and a lot of the emotions that it's trying to make them feel. I mean, like, it when I watch it, it makes me laugh, it makes me cry, it terrifies me in some cases, and and like, it's that type of emotional resonance that I like when I watch a movie that initially I wanted to put into my own film, Journey of the Spark.
Yeah, a lot of Disney movies overall are actually quite dark themed. A lot of people, neglect that aspect of Disney because a lot of Disney's family-related films are quite dark. Sleeping Beauty is a good example. That's Snow White.
Bambi Snow White terrified.
Yeah,
Snow White terrified the crap out of me.
And actually, Bambi is quite dark too. I mean, the first few minutes of film, bang, your mother's dead. Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to live with that now.
Yep, pretty much.
Fox and the Hound actually is another one too, which is bang, your mother's dead. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, like, then there was also, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, that was
very dark.
Beautiful. I love the music score for Hunchback of Notre Dame. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Disney has some of the best movie music scores, in my opinion. They're animated films.
Mm-hmm.
They're so well done. But my favorite Disney animated film would probably be The Great Mouse Detective. It's probably my favorite Disney film.
Oh, fuck yes.
It is so underrated.
That is a great movie. That is a great movie.
Vincent Price, brilliant role.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
I'm also very fond of The Black Cauldron.
Oh, I have that on VHS in my living room right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually, very few people know that downstairs in my garage, I have a closet that has every single animated Disney film ever released
Nice.
on
I have a lot of
VHS,
them.
pretty much.
Once again, Disney
Yeah.
animated films. The Black Cauldron. A lot of people really don't remember the Black Cauldron. I'll mention it to them. They're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "You haven't seen that?"
It's ultimately because I mean it was a big bomb when it first came
It
out, so it's
was.
like Disney's tried to sweep it under the rug, like so. I mean,
Yeah,
like no, it doesn't exist.
it's very, very dark too, actually.
Yeah, it's a really dark movie.
Hmm. All of Disney's dark. But so exactly like Journey to Spark, you're talking like what exactly wanted you to get this started? I know the whole film thing, but actually, what is it like kind of about as well?
Well, I guess the way to really explain why I wanted to do Journey of the Spark was because of the fact that, I mean, like when it comes to my role in the Brony community as a filmmaker,
Uh huh.
I mean, I have or just I mean because I like posting opinions on my Tumblr blog. I have my own personal Tumblr blog and whatnot, but I mean, sometimes I feel like the Brony community kind of forgets the reason as to why Friendship is Magic is as special as it is.
Yeah.
Primarily because of the fact that this was a show that Hasbro was very well. I mean, like there were a lot of risks with Friendship is Magic in terms of the way that it was being developed. In the fact that, I mean, at that time, I mean, like at that time that it was being developed, I mean, studio executives saw programming for little girls as just pure, unadulterated crap.
Yep.
I mean, and so
Still do.
Lauren wanted to make the show. Lauren wanted to make the show to prove to people that programming for the little girls didn't have to be bad.
Yeah.
And so and like that's why I mean it's amazing like episodes like Green Isn't Your Color or Suited for Success. I mean like episodes that have stuff like fashion shows and dresses and styling and stuff like that, you know, is so interesting is because the fact that you know, subject matter like that can be made entertaining if you give it in the right hands.
Yeah.
And but I mean, at the time that it was being developed, I mean, nobody really thought it was going to be successful. So the fact that Hasbro was willing to take a chance to even finance the project and, you know, to give Lauren as much creative freedom as she managed to get on that show, I mean, it's you know, it makes me appreciate the show a lot more
Yeah.
for what it is.
Definitely.
But a lot of people just really forget the fact that it is a show for little girls, and
Uh-huh.
that's the target audience that they're aiming for.
Yeah.
And with me, you know, I mean, me in film, I see that there's really not very many good films where a female cast, where it's an all-female cast, and you know, it's not really all that well done. I mean, it's like you see movies like with an all-male cast. I mean, stuff like the Avengers or like you know the Expendables or you know stuff like that. I mean, that stuff sells like crazy.
Oh, yeah,
but
of
I mean,
course.
the I mean, like the only big film that I can think of from that had like an all-female cast that you know was considered a big movie was Sucker Punch, and good God, that movie was a flaming piece of shit.
I haven't.
mean,
I haven't seen it. It looked very interesting. The concept looked interesting itself when I watched the trailer, but I didn't go see it. So
it's not really that good,
Okay,
honestly. I mean, and it's disappointing because I mean it's done by the guy who did 300 and Watchmen, and I liked both of those.
Mhm.
Supposedly, I guess he's directing the Man of Steel, like the
really,
new
the new
Superman
one
movie.
that's coming out. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's so many Man of
yeah,
Steel
it's
movies.
the same. Yeah, it's the same director, Zack
Okay.
Snyder. Um, but to me, I basically was like telling myself one of the biggest reasons as to why I wanted to do Journey of the Spark was that I wanted to make a mature animated film for children that didn't dumb down the source material, didn't treat them like they were idiots, didn't have to have stuff like pop culture references and, you know, brass, you know, crude humor and dated dialogue and
Mhm.
any of that shit that makes animated films so detestable nowadays.
Yeah.
And, you know, like make it all about an all-female cast, you know, like make a film that I can show my children in the future and they can actually watch it and really grow to love the characters. I mean, like I didn't want to make the film for the Brony community. I wanted to make a genuinely good film.
Yeah. Good
And I
family
wanted to make
film.
yeah, like a good film that anybody, you know, anybody, like even if they haven't seen Friendship is Magic, could
Can watch
just,
and
you know,
enjoy.
pop in could just like pop it in on a day when they wanted a really good movie to watch and just enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy it as its own piece of art.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and I mean, especially, I didn't want to have to make it a film completely laden with fan service because, I mean, if the reception of stuff like Double Rainbow,
I was just gonna say fan service, Double Rainbow.
I mean, like Double Rainbow, that stuff can backfire easily.
It can
backfire greatly, and I mean, so I focus specifically on the thing that a lot of these fan animation projects just don't really focus on enough, and that's the actual story. I mean,
Yeah.
I've always believed that
Story's
you
king.
can make a film look. I mean, like you can make a film look as amazing as possible, but it's not going to mean shit unless you have a really good story to back up those visuals.
Yeah. It's kind of like Transformers. It looks brilliant. All the music was decent actually. All the sound effects and everything were great. Acting was all right, but overall, Transformers' story in the second and third movies was just wasn't there.
Of course. I mean, so that's the reason why I wanted to go ahead and make it a movie, was because I wanted to actually do something different, and I wanted to do something unique, and I actually wanted to like really tell this really massive story on this really huge, massive level.
Nice.
And a lot of people think I'm crazy for doing it.
That's fine. People think I'm crazy too, but I mean, it's all the crazy people that get noticed and do the things that normal people wouldn't think of. They're the ones that do something that no one else would think of. They stand out. I love crazy people.
Right. Because for me, the movie was never really even a movie to begin with. It was an audio drama. It started off as an audio drama way back in 2011.
The olden days.
And so season 2 was barely airing at that time period.
Uh-huh.
And so at that time, I just basically started thinking to myself, how would I envision Friendship is Magic ending? Like what would the ending to the entire series be? What would the ending to the story be?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically I started developing an idea for a story. And originally it was supposed to be based on a parody show that I do called My Little Pony, the Brony Edition.
Mm-hmm.
But initially, we're not that far into the series. We're barely finishing up season 1. So at that time, we just did not have enough material to really make the story really work. So I basically just told, I told everybody, why don't we just make this a Friendship is Magic movie? And then I went and started scouting for voices because, I mean, Twilight's the main character of the story.
Actually, could you tell some of the voice actors and actresses you got while going through that? Like just some.
Yes. Because I'll get to that point in a bit.
Okay.
Basically, the casting pretty much for the movie started when I heard the demo reel of Meredith Sims, who was voicing Twilight in Fighting His Magic at that time when it was still Fighting His Magic.
Yeah.
And I loved her voice for Twilight so much that she was like my first and only choice for the character. So I basically messaged her on her YouTube page and I said, hey, I'm making an animated movie called Journey of the Spark. Would you want me to give you a few more details, or would you be interested in it? And I half expected her to say no, because at that point I was a complete nobody. So I basically, sent off the message, just was hoping for the best. And then she pretty much said, yeah, this sounds a little bit interesting. Do you think you could give me some more details? And I was just flabbergasted. And I was just like, really?
It's amazing how willing a lot of the voice actors are to work with you on different projects.
Mm-hmm.
If you just have to ask.
Yeah, and so what ended up happening is that I gave Meredith this incredibly lengthy pitch. Pretty much, I told her what the movie was about, what I wanted to do with it, what the themes were, the fact that it was a musical. I mean, I basically gave her this really lengthy pitch, and she signed on, immediately. She was so enthralled with the idea of it, and soon enough, she started getting me all of these voice actors who were her friends and whatnot, because they were all coming off of this canceled movie project called Project Saturation, and the people from Project Saturation eventually went on to form Silly Philly Studios.
Yep.
Yep.
So, yep. So pretty much all of them were starting to come on, and then before I knew it, the project began inflating. I
Yeah.
mean, it began expanding to a point where I just could not comprehend it. And like it eventually on the cast list, we ended up getting people like Rena Chan and Jenny Nicholson from Friendship is Witchcraft, and then Emily Fajardo, who was Pinkie Pie in Finding His Magic, and then just Meredith, and then Reagan Murdoch or Rev as this amazing Discord. Oh God, he is so good as Discord.
Nice.
Like you cannot tell the difference between him and John Delancey. It's mind blowing. And a newcomer, Sarah Williams, who's voicing Rarity and Princess Luna in the project, and just all these others, all coming together for this huge ensemble cast, and it was crazy. And before I knew it, the movie just we announced it, and it started getting hype like I would not believe.
So what can you tell us? Like a little? Can you like tell us any little bits of the story of the movie at all, or do you want to keep that all hush hush, quiet?
I can give a general synopsis.
Okay.
About what the movie's about. I can't tell too much, but
that's fine.
Basically, the movie is its own separate story. Just to say that right now, it only takes the first 2 seasons of Friendship is Magic as source of inspiration.
Okay.
It's not canon to the original show, so just throwing that out there.
All right.
But the story basically follows Twilight, who one day causes an event so chaotic and just so terrible, it forces every single one of her friends, including Celestia and Luna, to turn their backs on her. Ooh. And so Twilight Twilight basically throws herself into self-exile and eventually comes across the Statue of Discord. And Discord, seeing Twilight's guilt, uses his basically strikes a deal with Twilight that will force her away from everybody that she's ever known and that she's loved, and she runs away.
This reminds me of a movie. I'm thinking of many Disney movies are going through my head right now.
And so what happens is that Discord manages to break free amidst all of the chaos and confusion between Twilight and the girls, and begins to plot his revenge and the end of Harmony. Ooh. So the rest of Twilight's friends, in the rest of the main 6, Spike and Princess Luna, have to go on this incredible journey beyond the reaches of Equestria to find Twilight and rekindle their friendship, and restore the elements of harmony if they wish to save the land of Equestria again from Discord's clutches.
Ah, very intriguing. But once again, it did remind me of a few Disney movies. I don't know why. I got the mix of Lion King in there.
It has a few references to a lot of things.
Yeah.
It has a few references to a lot of things.
Once again, honestly. A lot of stories in general though are based off of one kind of story. There's so many stories that are just based off a similar story. You could just connect all these movies to different things. So, anyways.
So, who do you have doing the animation for this project? And when you compare it to what we see from Double Rainbow and Snowdrop and other fan projects like that, how does the animation in this project measure up to that?
Well, I mean, it's honestly really difficult for me to say because movies take a really long time to make.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, compared to a lot of the stuff that, compared to what Double Rainbow, basically did, and what Snowdrop did, I mean, we're trying to do something much more ambitious in the fact that we're trying to make a movie that we estimate, again, it's not confirmed or anything, it's just an estimate, that we believe will run at about 2 hours and 15 minutes, maybe. Mm-hmm. But it's funny because quite a few people from Double Rainbow are actually working on Journey of the Spark in terms of artists and animators and whatnot, and we have connections amongst people who actually did create those projects and whatnot. We're friends with them.
Okay.
But the team constantly gets bigger every day, And currently, at the moment, right now, I would say that we have altogether, we have roughly 70 people total working on the
Nice.
film.
Very nice.
Hmm.
So, what are like how much work? Bleh, I can't speak. So, how long do you work on this? Like in an average week? How much do you work on this?
I work on this every day of my life,
Awesome.
and I've been working on this since November 2011.
Mm. Are you gonna put this in
Yep.
your portfolio then? Like if you ever go and do film work and stuff like that?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
totally, definitely.
sweet.
So,
Mhm.
how about custom music for the project? Who do you have working on music?
I'm working on his music,
Uh,
all of it.
the music is being done by, well, we have three main music people working on it.
Hmm.
This is like the most exciting part about the whole thing, honestly. The orchestral score is being done by Michael Nicolosi and Nick
Oh,
Keeling. Nick Keeling actually worked on the music for Snowdrop alongside Reagan Murdoch, and he's going to be composing the music for this film alongside Michael Nicolosi. And then for our musical numbers, for our songs, we have 8 original songs being written by Brony musician Forrest Rain.
Okay,
ah,
cool. Four Strain's good.
yeah, very nice.
Hmm. And not only that, we're actually in talks to for the orchestral score. We actually are planning on having the orchestral score, like the score that we write for the movie, be performed by a live 40-piece orchestra.
Hmm, very
Hmm.
nice.
Yep.
So,
So
yeah,
it'll sound like movie quality.
nice. I do
Um,
love having good musical scores for movies. It really is
mhm.
so nice. What are some of the difficulties in having like so many volunteers doing this project, or just having so many volunteers on just one project? Like,
Well, I mean, the fact is that
yeah,
it's you're not paying any people to do this. It's a
yeah.
completely 100% volunteer project. I mean, there's got to be some difficulties that you run into with that.
There's a lot, honestly. As a director, I mean, this is my first time like really directing a film
Hmm.
of this size. I mean, I've done smaller things and like audio dramas and stuff like that in the past, but initially, when you have so many people volunteering on your project, sometimes there's going to be people who feel like they have just about as much creative freedom as you do, more than the director. And in some cases, that's just not really true. So that leads to a lot of conflict, a lot of drama, a lot of stuff like that. But really, sometimes a lot of that conflict is really necessary because I mean, it builds
Hmm.
a better relation amongst your team. I mean, it settles out the stuff that you need to get settled out, and it helps your team learn from a lot of their mistakes and a lot of. Yeah, I mean, I've messed up quite a bit on some particular aspects, just about as much as anybody else on the project.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's all been a learning experience, for
it
every
always
single
is.
one of us.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm saying this right now. This movie probably would not be. I mean, the thing is that we have a lot of expectations on our shoulders because currently at the moment we're the only movie project in the fandom that's even remotely has a chance of getting finished. I mean, we've come the farthest more than anybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I see all of these projects like go belly up because of the fact that they're not able to keep their teams stable.
Hmm.
And so I'm actually very thankful for the fact that my team is so respectful of the workflow that we have going on with each other. It's like we're able to get along, we're able to share our ideas, we're able to get a consistency in how we work going.
Hmm.
But if you were to have told us that if I were to have told you that a few months ago, that would have been a complete lie because we were constantly at each other's throats for a while. But I mean, now it's been smooth sailing for like the past few months or for the
Very
past
nice.
for a while now, and I'm actually very happy about that. And all of us are really confident about the work that we're actually putting into the
Hmm.
film. There's a lot of people who, even though they do this completely voluntary, they work their asses off like every day.
Yeah.
Like as though it were an actual paying job, and like that amazes me.
Hmm. Yeah, some of them are like that. Out of curiosity, do you have actually have an expected date of production? Or like when do you expect to finish
Like-
production of it?
We're hoping for summer 2015. That's when we'd like to have it out anyway. I mean, it's still a long ways off because, like I said, I mean,
They
movies
do,
take a
especially
long
one that's all
time to get
volunteer
made.
work of a fan made show. So
Yeah. Right. And so, I mean, it's going to take a while for us, and we're going to continue to push back the release date if we honestly
Yeah.
need to. So.
So, and I guess one thing that I was wondering about is where in production you guys are. As you know, you write the script, you get the voice actors, you have them start recording lines, you start animation going and stuff like that. Where are you along the production line when it comes to currently?
Usually, the way that it goes in film is that you have 3 different stages of production. You have your pre-production, which includes all of the planning, which includes casting, hiring personnel, getting your script written, and et cetera, getting the storyboards and
All that
yada
fun
yada
stuff.
yada. And then there's and that takes up like a good 30%
It
of the
does.
production time. So it's like, and then the 20% of production, it's just the production itself, and then the last 30%
Post-production.
basically, or the is post-production. Currently, we're at the beginning of the production stage.
Really?
Because the script is finished. We're going through editing, but we're like halfway done with editing the script. But whilst that's going on, we kind of do it like an assembly line,
Yeah.
basically. Is that once a scene is edited in the script and it's finished, that goes over to storyboard people, and then that goes over to the concept art people who do the backgrounds and the assets and stuff like that. Then that goes to the vector people who then take what the concept artists have done and they put it into the show style that you normally see on Friendship is Magic, and that includes vectored backgrounds, vectored objects, and etc. And then that gets put into animation, and then whatever it is that gets animated goes over to our visual effects artists, so we can actually do post editing visual effects to make it look more cinematic and like really good. And all of that can take usually up to a few months, like more than a few months time. I mean, it's a lengthy process, but we think it works.
Yeah. Most of the artwork and the animation probably take the longest of the whole thing. They tend to in projects like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But we're going at a steady pace. We don't want to overwork ourselves. So I mean, I can't necessarily say where, or like I can't give a percentage.
Yeah.
Really. But I mean, I can say we are in the production stage at least.
So, are you actually planning on going to any conventions this year?
I've got 3 that I'm going to. I am going to be a special guest of honor at Pwn3Con in Omaha, Nebraska, May 10th through the 12th.
That's coming up.
And Journey of the Spark. Journey of the Spark is going to have a panel there, and I'm going to be making a guest appearance. Then I'm going to Everfree Northwest, 4th of July weekend, and then Journey of the Spark is also going to be going to BronyCon in Baltimore, Maryland, August 2nd through the 4th.
Very nice.
All right, cool. Especially getting to the 2 big ones, Free Northwest and BronyCon. That's really important
publicity.
For publicity and stuff like that. As you continue into production and stuff like that, can we expect previews to come out for the movie?
Oh yeah, absolutely, of course.
Sweet.
We are planning on releasing a preview of a fully animated scene from the movie during the summer season whenever we finish it. I can't give any estimates or anything like that. I mean, because I got to be protective of that type of stuff, and I just can't throw numbers out there because that just
stuff
gives,
like that.
Yeah, I mean that gives false
does.
hope to a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
Just say like soon-ish
don't
or
set
summer-ish.
Don't set on anything unless you're going to be done with it like a month earlier than that.
Which is why the release dates that we have are not confirmed. They're just tentative release dates. I mean, like they're just estimates. I mean, we don't know when the movie's going to be finished. I mean, we don't know how long it's going to take. All we can do is just give estimate time frames anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can try and get stuff done. But, you know, I mean, I can't promise anything. Like I said, I mean, the people who are excited for it, great, awesome. You'll get to see some really great behind the scenes stuff at the conventions that we're going to this summer. I mean, we are showing off, you know, some new things and, you know, some new pieces of art, you know, storyboards, concept art,
Yeah.
you know, pieces of animation, voice clips. I mean, if you really want to get some, you know, if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of how Journey of the Spark is made, then attend those conventions because we're really excited to, you know, present to people. I mean, me included.
Yeah, of course. I would love to go see all that stuff. So do you have any like any final thoughts or shout outs or anything you want to mention before we run away? Mostly me.
Well, okay, first things first. I'm going to give a shout out to my entire team, particularly to my assistant director, Jan. Jan, I'm sorry if I fucked up any information that I was telling these guys. I don't know if I messed up any information or anything like that. I mean, you can go ahead and scold me in, you know, in the production chat we have. My lead vector artist, Zach, all of my producers, Edward Marmot, Jason Kusi, my lead editor, Kyle Suter, everybody working on the project. You guys are doing an amazing job. You know, I love all of you guys. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to my friends and really good fans of, you know, like my fans who are also really good friends of mine, John, Jory, and lastly, my girlfriend, Nicole, who also is working on Journey of the Spark. Nicole, you're amazing. I love you. I can't wait to meet you at BronyCon this summer.
Awesome.
All right. So that pretty much wraps up the interview. Thank you very much for joining us today.
No, it was my pleasure. No problem.
Yes, and thank you. I love talking with other film students.
Yay! Awesome.
Yeah, no, it's so much fun. When I'm not busy and have to run away, we should definitely talk again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Feel free to add me.
Never. No, I won't.
Never.
All right then. Never.
All right, so that was our interview for the week.
My chair is squeaky.
Indeed.
I wish you could
My
hear it.
couch is squeaky.
Why is your couch
My whole
squeaky?
house is squeaky.
You should get a Tempur-Pedic couch. Can you do that? Is there such thing as a Tempur-Pedic couch?
I'm sure you can get the couches that have like the memory foam or whatever. You know, you could probably get one.
This feels so weird. My blister.
Tempur-Pedic is just a brand name anyway.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. I mean, I have a Comfort-Pedic bed actually. It's basically the same exact thing, but off-branded, so it's cheaper.
You know, it's funny how like
Yes.
I do so much work on my computer that I sleep in my bed and like on the couch like equal. Like I sleep on the couch just as much as I sleep in my bed.
I sleep on the bed more. Though I sleep on the couch sometimes. Like if I'm really tired, I'll just fall asleep on the couch. And speaking of couches and mattresses, Rarity actually got a little video about her from who made this video?
Well, his name is the Theory Brony, but I don't know how you got couches and pillows out of that.
Well, they need seamstresses all the same. Anyways, he has a little theory, and it's basically, can Rarity defend herself?
Well, it's not a theory. He goes in depth analysis
In 4 minutes.
using series from the using scenes from the show.
Yeah.
To develop a conclusion of, can Rarity defend herself
From his friend.
in a fight or
Which the answer was yes, because
and,
Rarity's just
yeah.
that awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna play that video right now, and then we'll talk about it after it's done.
Oh, okay.
Hey everypony! Lately I've been doing a lot of streaming of my artwork since I still have a few commissions to take care of. However, I haven't forgotten the actual reason I started this channel, which is to discuss my views and opinions on the show. In one of my streams, I got into a rather heated debate with Pasta. For those of you who don't know, my favorite pony is in fact Rarity. Pasta had said something to the extent of wanting to beat Rarity with a bat, to which I retorted by saying she could totally kick his ass. He then laughed and said that she could never defend herself, and then the hour-long debate began. The point of this video is to give you all my take on Rarity's ability to fight should she ever get into that kind of position. We all know that Rarity isn't one for doing much physical labor aside from her designing, nor is she the type to fight. I'll be covering both magical and physical ability in this video, as well as comparing her strength to some of the others of the main 6 as well. Let's begin with Rarity's magical ability. All unicorns have the innate ability to levitate and manipulate objects. This alone is a pretty strong power, though depending on the level of magic the unicorn can use, there are restrictions. For instance, there's no way Rarity could have done what Twilight did in Ghostbusters, lifting the silo off the water tower and manipulating it at the same time as well as carrying an Ursa Minor off back to its cave would prove too daunting of a task for Rarity. Rarity has been shown, however, to be able to levitate multiple objects at the same time with incredible accuracy, so while she isn't strong in lifting things in regards to weight, she is rather dexterous with her levitation. The only problem I have with defending her magical ability is that I personally can't recall seeing her levitate anything using magic that she couldn't lift with her own hoop. I'd like to believe the strain for heavier objects begins slightly under the weight of the actual unicorn. As for Rarity's physical ability, you'd be rather surprised. She is in fact rather strong. Rarity is able to lift Tom and apparently dig through solid rock. Tom, being a boulder and twice Rarity's size, must weigh a lot. Rarity carried Tom by herself through a good portion of Return of Harmony, though with Tom on her back she could only walk, so it does show that she does struggle with her physical strength. Considering the fact that Rarity is an equine, her strength primarily is in her back legs. A kick to the face could easily do significant damage. In regards to Rarity, when she's attacked by the Manticore, she swiftly dodges and she's able to knock him back by the force of her kick. And the Manticore definitely has more on the side of strength and weight considering its size. Something I would also like to mention is that in Dog and Pony Show, she's also been shown to be astute and quick-witted as she's able to defend herself against the Diamond Dogs by manipulating them. So not only does she have the ability to levitate and manipulate objects as well as have a decent amount of kick to her physical strength, she can also attack her enemies on a mental level. However, her physical ability pales in comparison to that of characters like Applejack and Big Macintosh. In fact, a personal headcanon of mine is that Earth ponies are physically stronger than both Pegasi and unicorns, considering they're more attuned to doing physical labor. The problem is, though, is that there's no point in trying to compare Rarity to the characters who are obviously surpassing her in either field, so let's look at the others. Since only unicorns can do tangible forms of magic, we'll only be looking at their physical strength. Applejack is obviously the strongest out of the main 6 physically because she works the farm, and we've seen evidence to suggest she has a powerful kicking ability. Rainbow's position is interesting to me because if we take away her wings from the equation, I believe she'd possibly be physically weaker than Rarity despite being athletic. The reason why her wings are so important is that speed can make an impact on how hard someone can hit. If Rainbow were to hit someone at, say, her fastest flying speed, they'd obviously take more damage than if she just punched them. Twilight's position on physical strength is never really taken into account too often. My theory being that until the events of Friendship is Magic stayed inside and did nothing but study, her strength would not be as strong as Rarity's in the physical department. Though, now that she has wings, she's pretty much OP and needs to be nerfed. Her attack speed is broken. The core question I'm looking to answer is, can Rarity defend herself? The ruling on this, in my opinion, is yes, of course she can. Using basic magical skills and with a decent amount of physical power, Rarity could easily defend herself using this kind of logic. Plus, she's a seamstress. She has needles. Lots and lots of needles. Oh, and opal. So yes, Pasta, Rarity could totally kick your ass.
So, obviously, you know, it's good to always, I like the analysis that actually go in depth using things from the show to back up their argument for it.
Yeah, kind of
And
like how Digibrony does it or whatever.
We have seen Rarity, you know, fight before. And
Well, yeah, I mean, she beat up a Manticore, and then she was gonna. She threatened dragons, and then she'd rip them to pieces. And then Prince Blue Blood, and she went all against Blue Blood. And then there was Tom.
Yeah.
Tom's
And, you know,
it's a Tom and Bloomberg show.
Yeah, that was interesting. But anyway, it also goes, you know, in depth about the other characters too, and I like how it he
Yeah, not all of
analyzed.
them. Fluttershy, I want to know why she was the weakest. I mean,
Well,
she has
because-
the stare.
Well, that's not physical strength though.
Yes, it is.
It's-
It's physical
No.
strength. The stare takes physical strain for Fluttershy to use, in which, yes.
Well, I like the fact that he talked about wings adding physical power.
Well, of
you
course,
know.
that's why I'm a Pegasus. I am the strongest Pegasus there is, next to Derpy.
Derpy is just the strongest.
Well, have you
Pegasus.
seen her in Ponymon?
No.
She's insanely strong. How did I make yellow? Is it blue and green?
So what's your butt symbol?
My butt symbol? Clouds, I think. I don't know.
It's just funny because that discussion was on EQD
Yeah,
and stuff.
and basically, so assuming you could get into your ideal field, what would your cutie mark be? Personally, for me, I don't really. I mean, I'm a jack of all trades, and I hate it. But I really don't like being able to be good at most things. I like the idea of being good at like some things and have other people doing it instead of me just doing like almost everything. And like I can do it all. I'm like, no, I can't because I'm lazy, you moron. When I'm talking to myself, but I don't know. I like the idea of AR himself because if you notice on this, he has clouds. I don't know if you can see it. He has cloud for cutie mark, and it's basically representing that AR my OC is talentless, and I like that a lot more. It leaves you more open for a lot of things, but having a cutie mark that represents a mystery more of as well. So I don't know. I would like clouds. I like my OC's cutie mark.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, it's really weird because after I discovered My Little Pony, like my interests took a complete shift. And if this had happened before I graduated from high school, I might be doing something completely different than what I'm doing right now.
I wouldn't.
So I can't tell. I can't say for sure exactly what
Your butt mark would be.
my cutie mark would be. And to tell you the truth, I might not even have a cutie mark yet because I'm still not quite sure what my, what I'm really good at.
I don't know. I guess improv would be mine. What would improv look like as a cutie mark?
A microphone.
That can be related to singing, to being a comedian, and I'm not that funny. It could also relate to good speaking, voice acting, and radio shows, and podcasts. And dang it, why do I do most of that stuff?
You do a lot of talking though.
I do, and I do a lot of that other stuff as well. I mean, I speak on stage. I do. I actually still. I have something this Sunday. I'm going to be speaking on stage for with a bunch of other people. Actually, it's a little skit thing going on. Anyways, I do a lot of on stage stuff. At any rate, I like the idea of clouds for me because I don't want to be labeled as one kind of thing. Like clouds, you go with clouds. I'm like, no, not really. No, they shock me back. And they're like, oh, okay then. That's nice.
So,
and then they go about their days. But yes.
Actually, talking about what kind of pony we are, we can go into the
Poll
that they have up on EQD now, which is if you have an OC pony or not. And of course, I'm a unicorn and
I'm a changeling.
Pegasus at this point in time, but I was surprised by the results because right now, Pegasus is in the lead. Most people have Pegasus, followed closely by Unicorn, but the
second place right now
the shocking thing is that the number 2 most popular response is I don't have one, and I was surprised by that simply because, in this fan base, your OC is like your signature. It's who you are.
Who you are. You are my son, the one true king.
And so, I mean, I guess it's really only important for content producers. I mean, if you're not creating content, you don't really need.
Why do 60 people only have griffins? Griffins are awesome. I'm actually writing a griffin story. I'm working on chapter 2 of it.
But
I'm also why? Okay, also, why isn't a donkey or a cow on there? Quite honestly.
Because who's gonna want to have a donkey or a cow for?
I'm writing a story on cows murdering ponies.
Yeah.
People will then want cows as their OCs after my story.
After Mooter.
After Mooter. Yes, it is called Mooter because I am punny. But speaking of puns, actually, so we're going to go to Teen Titans Go. It just aired on Tuesday. Well, yeah, today.
I was completely unaware that Teen Titans Go was even a thing. I didn't even know that was going on. But apparently they had pretty Pegasus.
Yes, I said that. Well, not said that, but I noticed that because actually it was on today, and my dad was all And my dad's all like, oh, new Teen Titans series. And he watched the old one. He actually enjoyed the older Teen Titans. He's like, oh, put it on. And I'm like, yeah, I am curious on what it's like. I put it on, and we're like, Beast Boy was missing teeth from what I remember. And then they were
Now,
fighting
I
over
have
a
one
sandwich. And then
question.
Robin said, after the bug exploded, they're like, hey, who wants to go watch Pretty Pretty Pegasus?
So
So,
you guys
yes, we have television.
you guys watched it, right? So I mean,
I didn't
is
watch
it
all
the
of
same
it.
voice actors?
I don't watch some of it.
Is Sarah Strong voicing Raven?
Yes, all the voice actors are the same.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
That is a very important thing to me. All the voice actors, thankfully, stayed the same. And Beast
Okay,
Boy's missing teeth and Cyborg lost an arm.
but I mean, it's a completely different type of animation from the picture that
Completely
they've
different
got.
art style, different animation. The stories look a bit more comical.
Because I mean, I liked the Teen Titans, series because of the darker undertone that it had
This one
with
doesn't
some of.
really have it.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more.
Comical.
Uh, yeah, I like the older one better, but anyway.
So on Finding His Magic, their poster, where's Rainbow Dash? And also, what is that red thing
Well, what red thing?
in the middle of the picture? Just above the H in fighting. Is that a
Yeah,
lobster or is that a crab?
rock a lobster.
It's a
I don't know.
lobster. Which rarely fights giant crabs now. But anyways, yes, so speaking of Fighting His Magic, which I sort of brought up intentionally, they have a huge magical article on Polygon. I don't know what Polygon
Well,
is. I know Porygon's a Pokemon.
fighting his magic isn't a thing anymore, right? I mean,
Well, actually, they're still calling it Fighting His Magic.
hmm.
I don't see why they would change the name.
But apparently it's pretty long.
Yes, it's going over their rise and stardom and amazingness and then their fall. And
Brony's fighting ponies, the magic of friendship.
because that's friendship right there. Got a bunch of draw friend stuff with Lyra and Batwings, which I really want to see. There was a new animation actually. Are we going to show them this one, or are we just going to talk about it?
Huh?
The Rumble story.
We can show it real quick, because I mean it's 20 seconds long, so let's go ahead and show it to
We
them
will
just so they know what we're talking about.
Yes, we will see you in 20 seconds.
Yeah,
22
so
seconds later.
that was that. I mean, it's Mr. Poniator, and he does this kind of stuff.
Now,
Uh,
he's done making all the episode ones.
Well, did he do them for season 3?
He did up until Magic Duel, and then he said he was done making those.
Yeah, see, I wish he did. I wish he had done more because I mean they were really cool. But he's done a lot in this art style. This
Yeah, he did a
I-
Derpy story. He did a Rumble story as a new one. He did one with Pinkie Pie as well, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, this art style is really, catching on because they had it. It obviously premiered in the Royal Wedding.
Double Rainboom.
Double Rainboom had it.
Friendship is Witchcraft had it.
Obviously, Friendship is Witchcraft had it because they used it from the show.
Yeah.
And
I
Mr.
got a
Pony has
Pokeball.
done this kind of animation a couple of different times. So it's really catching on. I'm not sure how much I like it now, but one thing that's interesting, they have Cloud Chaser and they have Flitter in this video, and in the description they're calling them the Cloud Sisters. I haven't heard that before.
I haven't either, but I know Rumble is Thunderlane's brother.
Well, yes, obviously, yeah, the two sisters, and then Rumble is Thunderlane's younger brother. That's why Thunderlane is in the end of this video.
So younger brother. And also there is a... Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, I just wanted to note that it's called the Cloud Sisters, and I haven't heard that before.
It is a shame, though, he didn't do Season 3, because now we actually got character screen time for Season 3, created by someone on DeviantArt who was more than likely bored.
Well, they've done this for every other season. I don't know if this is the same person that did it for the other seasons. I
Yeah.
think it is.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, he did season 1 and 2. Yeah, in season 1. So yeah, he did it for season 1, then he did season 1, 2, and now he has season 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, all together. But so yeah, there's a it's a chart that's chart like, and if you don't know how to read charts, then don't go and read this because you're gonna get severely confused. I know just at glancing at it, I got a bit confused, but
There's lots of lines and stuff.
yeah, there's a lot of lines. But for the most part, each character got their fair amount of screen time, except for it looks like Fluttershy was the one lacking for the most part.
Well, let me see here.
I'm looking at season 3.
Yeah, season 3. I'm trying to see if there was a total somewhere. I don't see a total though.
I don't know where the totals would be. Um,
Oh, here, totals are at the bottom,
where's the bottom?
the very bottom.
Okay, so yeah. Yes, you are
It
right.
looks like right now Applejack is
13%.
the one that has the most.
Is that what,
And
13%, I guess?
Twilight Sparkle. Oh wait, no, hold on a second. Twilight Sparkle.
This is 21.
For some reason, she's at the bottom, but she's actually at 21%, which is
It's
the
going
highest.
by alphabetical name. That's why.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Applejack, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Spike, and Twilight Spickle. But
But that means that Twilight, obviously, I mean, I figured she would dominate most of the.
oh yeah, I mean it is kind of revolved around her with the Yoda episode that came up, and then you had the Magic Duel itself. You had the last episode of it being all around Twilight. You had kind of like Games actually had a bit of her in it too, but overall, so the percentage wise,
Candlelight Games had a lot of Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, I
as well.
did because it was a Rainbow Dash based episode for the most part.
You can see the line chart right here, and it's funny because there was like I think 3 episodes in a row, 6, 7, and 8 that didn't have Spike at all.
Yeah, and 4. 4 didn't have Spike at all.
Yeah, and then I mean episode 12 had him for like a couple seconds.
Yeah, it did. And Pinkie Pie was also missing in episode 4, it looks like, and 5, and no, 6.
Well, Pinkie Pie.
And 8.
If I'm looking at this correctly, it looks like she had a couple seconds in episode 4. What was episode 4? Was
it was One Bad Apple.
One Bad Apple, yeah.
She was in there for like a brief second, literally.
Right. Yeah, during the parade. Yep. All of them were in there for a brief second. During the parade.
Yeah. But at
they actually had to say anything. They didn't really have to say anything. They just kind of had to, be on the screen.
Yeah, but so anyways, percentage wise, Twilight Sparkle of course had the most amount of screen time after Twilight Spickle. Rainbow Dash actually had the second most amount of screen time in the entire season 3. Then it was Pinkie Pie, and then Rarity.
Applejack.
Oh yeah, Applejack was below Pinkie Pie actually.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so it's Pinkie Pie, Applejack, Rarity, Fluttershy, and
Spike.
All right.
Anyways, enough charts for you guys because I'm sure you're like, oh no, math, my brain can't handle it. Because I know I actually got a pop math test today when I was going to apply for work, and they're like, here, fill this out. I'm like, yes, I'll be doing math at my job. I don't like it.
So, if you guys have seen these, if you're a fan of the SFM videos, there's been 2 of them that have recently popped up. We're going to show you one of them, but we're going to show the I'll find a way.
I'll find my way.
Not that one.
That's a good song, though.
Yeah, it's a good song, but it's the wrong find a way, though.
Although it's I will find my way, not find a way, because he'll find his way, not a way.
So, Find a Way is the one we're going to show you, and then we'll talk about both of them after the video.
done?
So,
They should have a parody of it called "I Will Find a Highway." I really think they should.
uh,
Make it like an old rock song or something like that. Dun, 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 dun.
right.
Yes.
Anyway, I've never really been a big fan of SFM videos just because
Loser.
The ponies look weird.
Well, actually, in the guy who did the one with Derpy in it and the Meet the Ponies one looks pretty good actually.
But I know that the animation though, especially for Find a Way, was very very well done. It was a little bit more blocky and stiff for the Moon Rises, but I love that song though, and the cover was good. I'm glad that they used the cover because obviously the original is done by a male, which wouldn't really work for this animation.
Yeah.
So but I'm glad they did the animation for it because obviously its story is Moon becoming Nightmare Moon. So it was really cool to see that actually done. Find a Way was mostly a lot like the show. She's kind of just sitting in the room and saying.
Oh no, my friends are gone. I'm all alone. There's no one
like, oh
here
shit, now I need to do
beside
something.
me. My problems are all here. I'm screwed. Let's move on, please.
Yes. So I mean, it was good though. The animation was really well done for Find a Way.
Yeah, it really was. Speaking of really well done, there's actually a new comic that's come out called Accidentally.
I haven't heard much about that yet. I know it has Discord, but
Yes, it is.
other than that, really,
I'm
I
pretty sure
haven't
it's a
heard
fan
much.
made one actually.
Well, yeah, I don't think it.
Yeah, I hear the art looks amazing on that. So be sure to let us know about that if you guys watch it and don't watch it, read it. Which actually, I was doing a comic reading with E-Dragon. I'll upload that in the week as well.
Really?
Yes, it was a very fun comic read. It was hilarious. Anyways, Hasbro, yes, Hasbro, not Hasbro, because Hasbro's stupid. Hasbro has gone and released some 3D models, which I love the looks of these models, actually. I don't know.
Yes, right now they have, he has Twilight, Octavia, Vinyl Scratch, Lyra, Pinkamena,
Derpy.
and Derpy is his newest one.
Yes.
Derpy does look really good. And
I love the way they look. They look a bit cheerier and happy, and they're like, I'm a pony. I'm like, you are adorable. It's kind of how it is.
You are indeed a pony.
You are
Alright.
indeed a pony. And speaking of ponies, the Hub has actually released a cutout Twilight Spickle. Twilight.
So you can go and print this out, and you can have fun and dress her up and stuff like that.
However,
the only thing is,
she can't.
wings.
Yeah. However, she's not a princess because she can't be a winged.
And I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, it's like they should have probably brought this out at the end of season 2 as opposed to the end of season 3.
So do you have to
Unless,
like print this out then?
well, yeah, that's the idea. You print it out, and then you cut out all the pieces, and then yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you not familiar with this? I mean,
Well, I mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of cheap. Like, I'll print it out myself, even though I don't have cardboard paper. Because cardboard paper works the best for these kind of projects at home, with your parents, of course, and their supervision, as long as you sign that waiver. At any rate,
I don't think anyone young enough to need that advice is watching this right now.
please, they're always watching this kind of stuff.
Always.
Mostly because of my personality. I draw in those kind of kids all the time.
Right.
Yeah, it's always how it is. But anyways, there's actually, speaking of, I think this is the Hub is actually doing this. The voice nominations going on, or is that something else?
I don't know if. Well, no, maybe it is the Hub.
It might be, but actually, yeah, it's just the behind the voice actors nomination to voice actor. It might not necessarily be the Hub or anything like that. I feel too lazy to click on the link right now. because I fear my internet will crash on me. But the point is that so behind the voice actors, their second annual Behind the Voice Actors Award for 2012, they're having a bunch of nominations for let's see, Claire Corlett as Sweetie Belle, Tara Strong as Twilight Speakle, Britt McClip as Cadence, Nicole Oliver as Zoe Trent from The Littlest Pet Shop, Scott McNeil as Flam, also Double D. No, actually he was Double D. And My Little Pony Friendship's Magic as the best vocal ensemble, which you should really go and vote for, all two of you watching this. So go and vote for that, because that'll be... Yeah, you can find it on Question Today. There's a link there, and then you can go vote. I know I'm going to go vote right after this. That or play Minecraft. I'm still debating.
I know Friendship is Magic got a whole bunch of awards last year from this awards thing. So, we're usually really good about getting our voice actors, recognition.
Yeah, definitely. Dun, 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 dun. There's a picture of Gilda.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yes, but let's see. What else do we have? Equestria Daily, please. Let us know. Oh, I can't believe I forgot about this. Equestria Girls, releasing on June 15th in a theater that might be near you.
Yeah, we actually took the time to actually go and see where these theaters are that are going to be showing Equestria Girls.
Yep.
And
so those of you in either Connecticut, Pennsylvania, California, or New Jersey are going to be able to see this.
Yeah. It's kind of east or west coast, and if you're in the center of the U.S., you're kind of screwed. They don't have any other information. I mean, right now, EQD is saying that this is the only way to watch it so far because we haven't heard anything else.
That and Daniel Ingram says the music will be off the hook. So so Daniel Ingram does a lot of fishing. But yes. So
I think it is also important to mention that this past week was Shining Armor and Princess Cadence's anniversary.
And since I am Shining Armor for various projects, I thank you for the anniversary wishes.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy anniversary to...
Why, totally! But that was terrible.
And they actually had a whole art compilation just for that. I want to actually look through there, and I think because it's their anniversary, I think the artwork that I put at the end of this podcast, I'll do a whole bunch of Princess Cadence Shining Armor pictures.
And honestly, with the Equestria Girls thing too, you can easily find the dates. But I'm still wondering what the heck it is because they kept it so secretive.
Well, yeah, I mean, Equestria Girls, we've seen pictures, we've heard rumors, but we still don't know what the hell it is. And it's
exactly. But the thing is, also, it'll be in so few select theaters. Overall, it's going to be in about, I can't do math right now, about 11 theaters is all that it's going to be in the entire U.S. 11 theaters. So you could probably get away with going to the theaters and getting a ticket for it, actually, because you and other bronies are probably going to be the only ones seeing this and little girls. Yeah, that actually seems... Yeah, actually. But,
here's something interesting. Now, they have a draw friend here where their header is Snowdrop.
I love Snowdrop.
And they mentioned just briefly that she's about to pass Little Pip and Nyx for most art. I'm surprised that Snowdrop would beat out... I mean, I can see her beating Nyx. But the fact that she's beating out Little Pip actually...
Oh no, the world's ending.
Huh?
I just said, oh no, the world's ending.
Well, it's not. I'm just saying it seems odd. Little Pip, I mean, I think Fallout Equestria has one of the largest numbers of drawings, that I can think of.
Yeah, but once again, how important is that little character, Little Pip?
Little Pip is the main character.
Oh, it is? I never read Fallout Equestria, so I wouldn't know.
I'm like, yeah, she's the main character of the story.
Oh, okay. I have a Pokeball.
And Lyra's happy.
Good. Lyra better be happy about that because Little Pip is Little
Okay,
Pip.
we've got another. This will probably be the last video that we have. But there's one that I wanted to show. That it's just a rip from Invader Zim, but they put Chrysalis in it, and it's really funny when you see the entire thing. I've actually never seen Invader Zim,
What?
but go ahead. Let's go ahead and watch this video
I
here.
haven't seen this.
I'm not going to eat that. Enough! I will try some already.
Okay, and by the way, when I said I haven't seen this, that wasn't to the video you just showed. That was to the animation Flufflepuff Detective.
Oh, you haven't seen that yet?
No!
Oh, that was good.
I love Flufflepuff. Flufflepuff.
I know Flufflepuff is really good.
We should interview them.
Well, now, interview Flufflepuff, the Tumblr, or the person who does the videos for Flufflepuff?
I'm pretty sure they're the same person.
Are they?
I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty good animation then. I mean, I know that they had pretty good drawings on their Tumblr. You know,
And they
it's
were
like,
also the same with Dan versus Fim.
well, that's why Dan's in some of these videos.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway, I guess we haven't seen that one yet. Why don't we?
But we didn't even talk about the Invader Zim one.
Yeah, let's start
Well,
talking about
it's
this.
pretty self-explanatory.
We'll
If you haven't seen Invader Zim, it's something released by Jonan Vasquez, and he's not really well known for anything else but Invader Zim. So the point is that the voice actor, Richard Horvitz, is known for his voice as Daggett in the Angry Beavers, and Invader Zim was basically a dark little cartoon show on Nickelodeon, which got canceled eventually because parents thought it gross, and I did too. It got canceled right after the organ episode, I think, where where Zim went about stealing kids' organs. But yes, this one's on Nickelodeon, and it was for children. Anyways, Zim is basically an alien wanting to take over Earth because his race goes about just conquering planets and taking over the galaxy, and Earth wasn't on their list, so they sent Zim there because Zim is a terrible invader. They're like, okay, go over here to the outskirts where there's an unknown planet. So he finds Earth, and then, so yeah, it's about a stupid invader trying to conquer the planet. It's pretty hilarious.
And this
And
is
dark.
about waffles.
Wait, what?
And this is about waffles.
Yes, because his robot loves waffles. His robot minion Gur loves waffles. My sister absolutely adores Gur. Anyways, yeah, it's part of the episode where Gur makes waffles, and Zim's all, maybe this will give me an immunity to Earth food. So, anyways.
That was pretty interesting. I like to see Chrysalis in that role.
I think he just likes to see anything pony related.
Probably true. So, how much would you pay to name an alligator gummy?
$40,000.
There's a.
How much would you pay?
There is a. I guess you call it a Kickstarter, right?
It's essentially basically a Kickstarter. Lauren Faust is having it's kind of a donation drive as well for what is it, charity or something?
For the Wildlife Learning Center in northern Los Angeles, California.
Well, because there's no wildlife in Los Angeles. It's nothing but concrete jungle.
And so they have some animals that they are going to name based on the show. If they get right now, the campaign has raised $7,000 of its $48,000.
Yeah, but that was about a week ago, actually. So we don't know what it's at right now, but I think they're still taking donations.
This was out. Actually, I'm not sure what date this was out, but they said if they get 10,000, they're gonna name a bunny angel. If they get 20,000, they'll name a sulcata tortoise tank. If they get 30,000, they'll name a great horned owl Owlicious, and if they get to 40,000, they will name an alligator gummy.
Yeah, the sad thing about that though is that the owl and the rabbit are only going to live a few years. Owls and rabbits don't live that long.
I'm not sure what their lifespans are like, but still,
Rabbits are only a year or two. Owls are probably 5 to 6 years, and the alligators are about 30 to 40, and the tortoises are about 40 to 60.
no, tortoises live like 100 years.
Close enough.
But anyway,
Either way, Tank is going to live on in our hearts and dreams and in Los Angeles.
yes. So, if you want to help, there is a journal entry on DeviantArt that has the information for the fundraiser.
Yep. Or you can donate to us instead. We're better.
Right.
Donate for Lightning's hair loss.
What?
I don't know. I'm making stuff up. Donate for my hair loss. My left toe is missing some hair, actually.
That's interesting. So, we're going to end this off. The only thing I wanted to do before we end this off is let's go ahead and watch this Flufflepuff detective video because I think it's pretty funny.
Yes. So that means I have to watch it too.
All right, so that was that.
Yes. I love Flufflepuff. That is all. The end.
Yeah, those really do always make me laugh because they're just so random.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So we're gonna end this off on a big note. I have a blister.
here's the thing now. The Flufflepuff videos that have come out so far, the really big ones that were on EQD, they had the apple pie one. That one was actually done by Fluffy Mixer.
Yeah, that's the official one.
And the one that we just watched was Aggroll.
Yeah, I thought it looked different. The art style is slightly different. Flufflepuff doesn't look the exact same. And yeah, that's what I thought. It looked as it was a different animator.
It isn't the official one that usually does this.
Yeah.
But I think that I think he did really well though. It was still really funny.
Yeah, that's well done.
And yeah, you know, the whole thing with Flufflepuff, these videos have actually gotten me to actually follow that post on Tumblr.
Yes.
Because I it's so random because it has Chrysalis in it for some reason and
Dan versus and Twilight.
Yeah. And so I've been kind of trying to figure out exactly what the story is with that, and so yeah, it's very interesting. So that's pretty much all we had. Be sure to tune in next week. We're gonna have our interview with Jan Animations. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be epic.
Yes, this was short.
Huh?
This was short.
If you think so, but there's like 5 videos you have to add to it, so.
That's true. Okay. Bye-bye.
So we'll see you next time.
Bye. Get a life, please.
Bye.